Hello, guys, and it's your boy Rashidi here, and I'm back to tell you guys a little bit more about the whole carry role and the support role, or should I say support roles. So, and I guess I'll explain why this is important, just so that you guys understand why you should probably be doing dungeons this way. So, you know how we're constantly doing dungeons, right? Meaning, like, we're going to be doing hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of dungeons in our Orna career. So, the faster dungeons are done, the better. To do more in as little time as possible means you're doing a lot more over a long period of time. So when some persons get impatient at persons for slowing down runs, that is why they're getting impatient, because they're thinking long term. And most persons who do dungeons daily do try to optimize their builds so that they can do it as quickly as possible. So at the beginning of the next run, I'm gonna pretty much talk through the dungeon. So I might pause this and continue when we're there. So, but ideally, you just want to be going through dungeons like this. You're just going through, no one is at risk of dying, and persons understand what they should be doing in the dungeon. So, say there is a berserk, like a berserk ronin, you know that guy's attacking first, no matter what foresight you have. So in a valley in particular, you're going to definitely want to stun that thing, even though it attacks before. So pretty much it's not going to attack again unless it's missed and it comes around to the other wave. But if it is missed, that is one of the things that does so much damage that you just want it out of the run as soon as possible. But I'm going to definitely restart the run and go from there. And I'll try my very best to explain it as intricately as possible, from what I need of a support to what I'm trying to do. And I guess I can just explain what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to clear each wave in one turn so that we can go as quickly as possible. So, and I hope I'm speaking clearly and slowly enough so that persons are understanding what I'm saying without much effort, because it's going to be a bit. So yeah, but we're about done this one, so we're about to start the actual tutorial. But I feel like that prelude was needed, because I think when persons see others get a bit annoyed when they're wasting time or they're doing God knows what in the run, they don't understand that persons are just trying to be efficient. And if you aren't an efficient person, that is fine, but you can't be trying to play with persons who are trying to be efficient. So I'm gonna pop in my gear that I'm using for this one right now, and I'd usually use the, okay, I can't scroll there, but I think you guys can pause there and you can see my gear. I usually use the, what's it called now, Ashen Phoenician boots. Ash Ember. Yes, Ash Ember. And that is from the event in January with the Phoenix, found in the Dragon Roost dungeon during that event. So now I'll explain the run. So first turn for the carry is going to use Mimic's Mischief, or the person can use Jin's Talent. I like Mimic's Mischief because it's not a sure defense and magic down. It's just a 20% chance, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but there's a chance that you don't get both. For Jin's talent, you'll get the double defense down and you'll get the double magic down for sure. And then, as I said, you also have a chance from Mimic's Mischief to get Cursed, which, if you have an Inquisitor in the run, you shouldn't be worried about that. So, at this point, I start. So, I do Mimic's Mischief first, then I use a Magic Tonic second. I would love to use Worm Song. Not Worm Song, I'm going to look at the exact name. Wyvern Speed 2. But it is a garbage spell if you're trying to do things efficiently, because it is not assured. The buff is not assured. So I would love to get Dex up and Magic up, because they're both really useful, since the increase in Dex is going to allow you to hit more frequently or miss less, and the Magic up is going to allow you to do a bit more damage, because your aim in these dungeons is to stack as many multipliers as possible, therefore doing as much damage as possible, because the multipliers are really powerful. So your magic stat is cool, but the multipliers are even better. So say I have 7,000 or 6,000 magic, but I don't have a Staff of the Chimera, for example. That gives me a 50% damage increase. So I would rather lose 700 magic for that one buff. And you will definitely have to try it to see what I mean. But the more buffs you have, the more buffs you want to have up, because the multipliers get crazy. Hopefully you'll see it throughout this video. And the final multiplier you want to on your, what would I call it now, your run set as the carry would definitely be the, what would I call it now, the Iconoclast. Yes, sometimes I forget that name. That is the damage increase from your mana being reduced. So ideally, and I'll probably go through the armor and stuff intricately after the runs, but I'm just trying to explain things as efficiently as possible. Granted, it might not be, but I'm just hoping it makes sense and you can see what I mean. And now, the right thing to do for these persons is to just stun the Berserk one. But obviously, sometimes I don't have the most efficient teams. I have a good team here, but two of them are pretty much new to my runs. So we see both things come back around to not only jeopardize my temporary buffs that are up, that I don't want to see another turn to risk losing them, but neither of those things were stunned. So if the Ronin really wanted to, it could have one-shot me. And then that is pretty much just a start of the downturn of the run. And it also demoralizes the carry, especially if the carry lost the temp buff. So that's what they just did. Pointless. There's no need to be using Blessed Shield on me. Only way Blessed Shield is going to work when I have the double defense down is if I put on golems, Blessed Shield is on, Barrier 2 is on, and I have DC. And that will just about, it won't even it out, because I have on Snotra. And Snotra does a 90% decrease in your defense. So it's just pointless. There's nothing that is going to bring back my defense, even to the base, that is worth doing. That's why we use Rampart 2, which pretty much balances the damage you take versus the damage your HP, like the damage in general. So when I get Rampart 2, that is a 50% ward absorption. So I have about 15k HP and about 16k ward or so. Being able to evenly distribute the damage between both means that I'll have my ward for longer when it's not taking 75, which would be for Rampart 3, or Ward of Mithril, or even worse, 80%, which would be from, what would I call that? No, Ward of Ortonite. So the 50% is a perfect balance between your ward taking damage and your HP taking damage. So as a heretic, you're going to naturally, from your passive, regain HP throughout the run. As a deity, you'll need to use an Ashen Ruby in your build, but that will still work out nicely. I think you'll probably need 2 of them for it to be enough healing. I'm not sure, I haven't used it in so long. I think you might need 1 because deities can do a mad amount of damage too, but it doesn't proc as often, so I don't know if putting in multiple ones will make them proc more or what. So another thing about my build, you guys will notice the Requiem 3 here, and this is why I like to use the Arisen Fae Mecha, not Mecha, Arisen Fae, oh my god, Crow Song. So it just does so much damage that Twin Blast is literally like a waste of time to have. Plus, this still does give a lot more bonus damage than I would have with my other staffs, except maybe an Arisen Fae Mecha Pillar. But I prefer this because, as I said, Requiem 3 comes in really clutch. Like, it does so much damage, it has massive penetration, like, and it can crit. So for those really pesky Berserk Arisen Mammons, you definitely don't even need to worry about wasting mana on them when you fail to one-shot them. So I hope I'm being coherent here. I think I've been talking about carry stuff this whole time though. So I keep on looking at my buffs, I'm looking at the screen, I'm just looking at what else I could talk about. Red dragons, they're another thing that people, yes, should stun. But as I said, maybe when this video is out, more persons will know how to take care of that stuff. I just saw a counter attack there, I'm not sure what that means. But now I'll show you guys the power of Requiem 3. So you know, sometimes you might be out of mana towards the end and you don't want to Twin Blast because it's going to be really shitty and weak. But voila, you can do like 200k with a free spell. So this is the boot that I use for my main carry build, but I'm trying to Godforge this one, so I'm using it right now. So I think my gear is pretty much self-explanatory. I don't know what other questions persons might have. I'm gonna do a support video, and I guess I could probably talk about the support's role now in full, and then you guys can watch me and try to instill what I said before. But I will need to charge my phone soon. And this is not the Lioness crown, as you can see, because the lack of defense should tell you that. That is the Arisen Tarnished King's crown from the Battlegrounds dungeon. From the Arisen Meliodas, or is it just Meliodas? False King Meliodas? Guys, like, sometimes I don't know the names of stuff in this game. Alright then, so hypothetically speaking now, we're starting this dungeon. I'm not the host, so my support should focus on warding themselves, and I will be fine for the first turn most likely. And if I die, I can be revived. If I am hosting the dungeon, then I need to get Rampart 2 first turn. My support can die and someone else can revive that person. But if I die as the host, the whole run is over. And I like this mechanic because the runs should not be free. And first waves do get a bit drastic. But that is another thing. That is why we bring Stun Dart. Stun Dart is the number one protector of everyone in first waves, even if they aren't berserks, as you can see, because I still take massive damage. And most persons are just going to be doing God knows what. Like, they're just going to be doing a bunch of random buffs or bastioning a zillion times, and it's a bit pointless. It's just better to help make things go faster. And a simple stun means one of two things. You either take less damage or you're sure to hit the thing. Now, I like being sure to hit stuff because that means they're going to die. And then we can move on. So, Hydras, the green spider there, Arachnus, I think. I'm not sure what it's called. The black dragons cannot be stunned, but the red dragons and the green dragons can be. The Finfolk can be stunned. A risen Hydra must be stunned. The Carman must be stunned, especially if she has a gargoyle, because that's double trouble. So you just need to shut her up. The gargoyle is still going to do his thing, but at least you only have to deal with him. Because if she confuses the cleanser and petrifies someone else, that is just trouble. That is literally just trouble. So on first waves, Hydras, as I said, I would say Carmen for sure on first waves. Berserks. Then, as I said, the Hydras and all the other things. Even that thing over the corner there, that ogre thing, whatever that is, orc, whatever. Even that thing is worthy of a stun if it is berserk. Because once the carry puts on Snotra, the carry is going to be taking a bunch of damage. So you just want to be there to protect your carry before stuff happens to him. And that way we can get through the dungeon as quickly as possible. So I hope this is all making sense. If you have any questions, as usual, you can comment in the comment section below. If you want to learn more about party running, I have a Discord server called Aldon on Wheels. It is pretty popular now. We do runs daily. We always have some really good spots, thanks to some real ones. I know everybody wants me to shout out OO, if that's how his name is pronounced, or is it 00BFFF? He is like always finding those clutch spots, always finding those brilliant spots, like. So, and we have a lot of other awesome members there. It's really wholesome. Even lower level persons have been finding a lot of success, but it's mainly a high level party running server because it's mainly tier 10 stuff, but a lot of the tier 10s are really nice and they do look out for the newer members of the community. So they try to help out, and honestly, sometimes running lower tier dungeons is very beneficial. So just being there available as a lower tier person, you can't go wrong, because it's not like you have to pay for anything or you have to do anything. You just need to make yourself available if you're needed. If you have your own dungeon spots, that's even easier, because you can just host a run and most of the times persons will hop in. except times like now when beast dens are like really really popular. So I'll probably go through what you need from beast dens when I go through my carry build video. I'll make another carry build video since this video is getting a bit long, and I want you guys to be able to watch this a couple times without hearing too much information. So I'm gonna use Mage's Dance here because I want to deplete my mana further. But as I said, Requiem there is a godsend if you don't have the mana, because you're definitely going to be able to kill it. Luckily the Berserk one didn't hit me. Ooh, even the thing is Berserk over there. Scary. And even at this point, even without buffs, I should still be able to kill most of the mobs. Except the boss floors, which I will need my DC at the very least. This evil little witch is Berserk. But yeah, as usual guys, as usual, this is why I like when people have a bit of ward. So one of the things I don't do, no matter who it is, I'm not going to run with people below 30k ward for my own sanity. It just makes no sense. All it does is annoy the shit out of me. They die like 5 times a run, so we have to stop and fucking revive them, and then that just demoralizes everyone. So that's why I don't like to run with persons who don't have enough ward. But there are persons in the server who don't mind, but I do mind. So yeah. I'll go through the gear in another video, and I thank you guys for watching, and the first 5 comments will receive 5 summoning scrolls each. So yeah, and be sure to ping me in. Ooh, okay, this is a spicy one. I hope this one rapes us. Not rape, okay, that's a strong word. I hope this one murders us. Oh god, I wonder if would it be taken down or just demonetized? Because I don't monetize my videos, so that doesn't matter. But if it would be taken down, that would be sad. Anyway, luckily that freak died, the other Berserk. But let us see if anybody has the foresight to stun this thing. And let's see what happens when it isn't stunned, especially because I have the double defense down already in this run. So there's a bit of a server glitch that is causing, like you saw just now, it was my turn, then someone else did something, then it was my turn again. I don't know what to make of it, but at the very least it's playable. And that was the anchor. The anchor just did 7k damage to me. Yeah. Ravage us. Ravage us. I want to see when someone finally says, hey, I can stun dart these things. What the fuck is happening here, mate? Fucking goofy ass fucking server. Bro, am I getting to hit or what? Fucking goofy ass. But yeah. Yeah, so this video is really needed, as you guys can clearly see. Luckily, these things aren't killing us. And I say luckily because we aren't always that lucky. And that's why I just like to do things correctly in the first place. Oh my god, I'm not videoing any more of this because this is ridiculous. But do you know how much Twin Blast would have done on that thing? 0. Especially with my current buffs. So, yeah. Luckily we got through that, but I've already gone through almost half of my ward on turn 1. So, let's hope for a good run. To save myself the embarrassment, I'm going to go ahead and head out so that you guys can't see the rest of this run. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this was useful in some way. If it wasn't, you can tell me how it could be in the comments below.